throw a snowball yet?
I did. I did. At my brother.
You threw one at your brother? What about you?
I did.
Who'd you throw it at? Did you throw it at a person or you throw it at something else?
Person, Daddy.
You threw it at your dad. Did you hit him? Ooh.
I threw it.
Did he throw one back? Did he? Okay, yeah. I tell you, I want to tell you a quick snowball fight story. Years ago, when I was a kid, let's see, I would have been probably 10 or 11 years old. We had a big snow where we lived at the time, and that was pretty rare in that area because it was much further south than here. And we had a big snowball fight. A couple different families and people on the street were just all having fun, throwing snow everywhere. And I got behind a row of trees that were probably about 15 feet tall. And my dad is on the other side of the street. And somehow, he threw one up. It went up in the air and over the trees. I didn't even know he threw it because I just figured I was safe. And I was busy making some snowballs. And I looked up, and just at that moment, the snowball landed on me. And it hit me perfectly right here under my chin and went right down my shirt. How did that happen? I have no idea how my dad did that. It's pretty amazing. Anyway, fun snowball story. So, but I have a different story, totally different story for you today. Okay, it's a Jesus story. And, you know, when Jesus would preach and teach, a lot of people would show up. Crowds, big crowds, coming all the time. And so in one of these cases, Jesus and his disciples are out kind of in a remote place. It's far away from stuff and far away from other people. And they see this crowd coming. And Jesus says to one of his disciples, he says, Philip, look out there. Because Philip's a math whiz. You're a math whiz, right? Good, very good. So he says to Philip, look out there. See all those people coming? How much would it cost to feed all those people? And Philip does some quick calculation. 6 months of my salary would not be enough. Can you imagine working for half a year and still not having enough money to feed all the people that were coming? That's a lot of money. And it's still not enough. Even more than 3,000. 400 and 500 million might have been enough.
500.
Yeah, it's a big number. It's a big number. So, and Philip said, that wouldn't be enough. Huh?
500 million?
500 billion. That would be something. That'd be a lot of people we'd be feeding with that. Infinity and beyond. Okay, so here's the deal. He says to Philip, how much would it take to feed these people? And Philip said, 6 months of my salary would not be enough. And Jesus kind of waits for one of his disciples to say something. And Andrew says, hey, Jesus, we got this kid over here. He's got 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. Now, when he says he has 5 loaves of bread, they're not like big loaves you make sandwiches with. They're like little rolls that you make, you know, like you stick the fish inside the bun. You break your fish in half, and you put half in one, and half in another, and half in another, and half in another, and you got 1 extra roll left over. He's got 5 rolls and 2 fish. And Andrew says, but hey, 5 rolls, 2 fish, it's 7 pieces of food. You're right, okay? But Andrew says, how are you going to take 5 rolls and 2 fish and feed all these people? That's nowhere near enough, but that's what we got. And Jesus says, well, okay, I want you to have everybody sit down. We're going to have dinner, and you bring the food to me. And Jesus did something that we have the same story in the communion story, the Last Supper story. Jesus took the bread, he blessed the bread, he broke the bread, and he gave the bread. He did the same thing with the fish. And all these people, 5,000 people, were served. And there was even leftovers. Amazing, isn't it? It was so amazing. People said, look at the sign that he did. A sign being like a miracle. Look at the sign that he did. Maybe he's the prophet who was promised. Will you guys say a prayer with me? Okay. I invite you to repeat after me. Dear God, we thank you for Jesus. We thank you for signs that he is the one who is promised. We thank you for his love for us. Amen. Amen. Now, we have worksheets for you guys, and I'm not sure if we have children's church persons because we do? Okay. Very good. Okay, because there were some changes. So I'm grateful to hear that. So we have some handouts for you. Let me give you guys the handouts, and then those of you who are going to head to children's church are invited to do that after the choir sings. Okay? So can I have Nathan, can you help hand these out? And Cindy, could you help hand these out? Okay. And then as soon as the choir is done, those of you who are going to children's church are invited to do that.